Have you ever had that frustrating moment where you've spent hours memorizing vocabulary and reviewing phrases, but when you try to speak to a local, they just give you that blank stare or a confused, huh? It is incredibly discouraging when you feel like you're doing everything right, and yet somehow your Chinese still sounds a bit off or robotic. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, you are probably just falling into a few common traps that almost every learner hits at the start. Once you see them, they are actually quite easy to fix. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes that are holding your Chinese back. We're going to look at why your pronunciation might feel clunky and why your grammar might sound like a direct translation from English. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact tools to fix these habits and instantly level up the way you sound. Alright, let's start with the first mistake, and this one is surprisingly common. A lot of learners focus very hard on the 4 tones. First tone, second tone, third tone, fourth tone. You practice them a lot and try to get them right. And that's great, but there is one tone that often gets ignored, and that's what we call the neutral tone. If you ignore this tone, your Chinese can sound heavy and unnatural, even if your other tones are correct. Let me show you what I mean. Take a very simple word like mama, which means mom. Many beginners will pronounce it like this, mama. Both syllables are strong, both carry full weight, and it ends up sounding a bit stiff. In natural Chinese, it sounds more like ma. The first syllable is clear and strong, and the second one becomes light and quick. It almost feels like it just drops gently at the end. That second syllable is the neutral tone. Here is a simple way to think about it. Don't treat the neutral tone like a full tone that you need to control. Instead, think of it like a soft landing, almost like a gentle period at the end of a word. You are not adding energy to it, you're just letting it drop off naturally. Once you start doing this, your Chinese will sound more natural because the rhythm becomes lighter and more fluid. So if your Chinese sometimes feels a bit too heavy or too even, this might be the reason. Now that you're aware of it, start listening for it and try letting that neutral syllable relax instead of stressing it. And by the way, if you feel like tones in general are still hard to hear or control, I've created a free gentle tones starter guide that walks you through the basics step by step. It's very simple and beginner friendly, and it will help you start understanding tone differences much more clearly. If you want something easy to follow, you can download it through the link in the description below. Alright, let's move on to the next mistake, and this one is very subtle, but it makes a big difference in how you sound. This has to do with the R sound in Chinese. Many learners naturally use the English R when they see pinyin R, and that makes sense because it looks the same. So a word like ren often ends up sounding a bit like ren in English. Again, it's understandable, but it doesn't quite sound like Chinese. The reason is that the Chinese R is actually produced in a different place in your mouth. In English, when you say R, your tongue tends to pull back and curl more deeply. It's a stronger, more rounded sound. But in Chinese, the R is much lighter. Your tongue moves toward the roof of your mouth, but it doesn't curl tightly. It stays more relaxed and the sound comes out softer, almost like a slight buzz feeling at the beginning. You want something closer to ren, where the sound starts gently and doesn't feel as heavy or tight. So keep in mind that the Chinese R should not feel forced. Try to keep it light, keep it relaxed, and focus on the placement. Alright, now that we've adjusted that sound, let's move on to the next mistake. The next mistake I'd like to talk about is probably the most common grammar habit I hear from English speakers. It has to do with the word shi. In English, we're used to sentences like I'm happy, I'm tired, she's busy. English grammar requires a linking verb to connect the subject to the adjective. So naturally, when you speak Chinese, you feel like you also need a verb in the middle. When you learn that the word for to be is 是, you end up saying something like 我是高兴, or 我是累. Now again, people might still understand you, but this doesn't sound natural in Chinese. The reason is that Chinese doesn't always need a verb like am or is when you are describing a state or a feeling. Instead, Chinese often uses a very simple structure, which is an adverb plus an adjective. So instead of saying 我是累, you would say 我很累. And instead of 我是高兴, you would say 我很高兴. Here, the word 很 doesn't always mean very. In many cases, it's just there to connect the subject and the adjective smoothly. It makes the sentence feel complete and natural. So a helpful way to think about this is that in Chinese, adjectives can act like verbs when you are describing how someone is. You don't need 是 unless you're linking something to a noun, like I'm a teacher or this is a book. But when you are talking about feelings, states, or qualities, just go with subject plus 很 plus adjective. Once you make this shift, your sentences will immediately sound more natural and much closer to how native speakers actually talk. Now we're going to move on to the next mistake, and this one might surprise you a little. A lot of beginners spend a huge amount of time memorizing characters right at the start. You're writing them, reviewing them, trying to remember every stroke, and it feels like that's what you're supposed to do. Now, don't get me wrong, characters are absolutely important. But the timing matters. If you focus too much on characters before your ear is trained, it can actually slow down your speaking and pronunciation progress. When you learn Chinese mainly through characters, your brain starts to connect meaning to visual shapes, not to sound. So when it's time to speak, you don't have a strong sound system to rely on. You might know the word on paper, but the pronunciation feels uncertain or disconnected. That's when your Chinese can start to sound a bit unnatural, even if you recognize a lot of characters. Instead of starting with the eyes, start with the ear. Focus on hearing the language clearly. Spend time listening to how words actually sound, how tones move, how syllables connect, how rhythm flows in a sentence. Then connect that sound to meaning first. Once that connection is strong, adding the character becomes much easier because you're attaching it to something you can already hear and say. So the goal at the beginning is not perfection in writing, it's clarity in listening and speaking. If you shift your focus this way, your pronunciation will become more stable, your rhythm will feel more natural, and everything will start to come together much faster. And this is exactly the idea behind my 7-day tone reset course. It is designed to train your ear first and then guide your voice step by step so you are not just memorizing but actually building a strong natural sound system in Chinese. Over 7 days, we go through short focused lessons that help you hear tones more clearly, fix common issues like the third tone, and start connecting tones naturally in words and full sentences. So if you feel like tones feel confusing or hard to control and you want a more structured way to improve, you can check it out through the link in the description below. Alright, let's get into the final mistake, and this one is about how you build sentences. A lot of beginners naturally translate directly from English when they speak Chinese. You think of the sentence in English first and then you try to convert it word by word into Chinese. And honestly, this is completely normal. Everyone does this at the beginning. But the problem is, even if every individual word is correct, the overall sentence can still sound unnatural in Chinese. Let me give you a simple example. In English, you might say, I also like it. So naturally, you translate it directly and say, 我也喜欢它. Now, technically, this isn't completely wrong, but in many everyday situations, it doesn't sound very natural. The reason is that the word it is often unnecessary in Chinese, especially when the context is already clear. So if everyone already knows what it refers to, native speakers would simply say 我也喜欢. But vocabulary is only part of the issue. The other big difference is sentence order. For example, in English you might say I eat lunch at school every day. Many beginners translate this directly and say 我吃午餐在学校每天. Now again, people might still understand you, but the sentence order feels very English. In Chinese, time and location usually come before the action itself. So a correct and natural sentence would be 我每天在学校吃午餐. Notice how Chinese sets up the background information first. We hear every day, then at school, and finally the action, eat lunch. And this is the important thing to understand. Chinese organizes ideas differently. So instead of translating word by word in your head, try focusing on the meaning first. And then pay attention to how Chinese naturally expresses that idea. At first, this might feel a little unfamiliar, but once you start thinking this way, your Chinese will immediately begin to sound much smoother and more natural. Alright, before we wrap up, let's quickly go over what we talked about today. We started with the neutral tone, which is often ignored, but actually plays a huge role in making your Chinese sound natural and not too heavy. Then we looked at the Chinese R sound and how it's different from the English R, even though they look the same in pinyin. After that, we talked about the 是 problem and how you don't need it when you are describing feelings or states. Then, we covered the habit of focusing too much on characters too early and why training your ear first can make a big difference. And finally, we talked about direct translation from English and why thinking word for word can make your sentences sound unnatural. If you can fix these habits even just gradually, you'll notice a big difference in how your Chinese sounds. Now, before you go, I'd really love to hear from you. What has been the most challenging part of learning Chinese for you so far? Is it tones, pronunciation, grammar, or something else? Is there a specific sound structure or situation that you struggle with? Let me know in the comments. I read them and it also helps me create better videos for you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.